It is a very good evening to you. My name is Marissa Marinda and you are watching Newsplus. Let's get into tonight's headlines. President Mnangagwa has described the late veteran agricultural expert Dr. Robbie Mupawose as a talented public servant and outstanding corporate leader whose contributions played a pivotal role in the development of Zimbabwe's agricultural sector. Vice President Dr. Constantino Chiwenga has called on Southern Africa to strengthen procurement governance. He was speaking at the ongoing inaugural Southern African Procurement Forum in Harare. The Zimbabwe Republic Police says its ongoing blitz against illegal transport operators is yielding results. And in sport, Romanian coach Aristica Choba has been linked to taking over coaching duties for Dynamos following the suspension of head coach Genesis Mangombe. Now for the news in greater detail. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has described the late Dr. Robbie Matongo Mupawose as a hugely talented public servant, agricultural expert and outstanding corporate leader whose contributions played a pivotal role in the development of Zimbabwe's agricultural sector. In a condolence message following Dr. Mupawose's death on Sunday, President Mnangagwa said the nation had lost a wealth of knowledge and expertise cultivated over decades of distinguished service in both the public and private sectors. The president also announced that government has granted Dr. Mupawose a state-assisted funeral in recognition of his immense contribution to national development and professional leadership. The president said Dr. Mupawose was among the pioneering crop of Zimbabwean experts who returned home at independence to take up leadership positions in the newly established civil service. As a long-time permanent secretary in the ministries responsible for lands and agriculture, Dr. Mupawose helped rebuild the country's agricultural sector. The president said Dr. Mupawose remained actively involved in national development even after leaving government service, contributing his expertise through the National Economic Consultative Forum and other platforms where agricultural policies were crafted and aligned with broader economic goals. Our condolences do go out to his family. In another story, Zimbabwe and Malawi have recorded positive progress in various areas, especially tourism. The two countries are actively collaborating on various initiatives through the Joint Permanent Commission focusing on sustainable tourism and joint marketing. The Joint Tourism Technical Committee has also established a tourism development plan which covers what is increasingly described as green tourism and heritage tourism.
Officials met this Wednesday for the mid-term review of the 11th session of the Zimbabwe-Malawi Joint Permanent Commission on Cooperation, expressing the sister nations' continued commitment in deepening bilateral and trade relations. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Albert Chimbindi, said relations between the two nations are anchored in a shared history, common aspirations and a collective destiny.
We have recorded good progress in various areas, especially tourism, where our two countries have been actively collaborating on various initiatives, particularly focusing on sustainable tourism and joint marketing. The Joint Tourism Technical Committee has also established a tourism development plan which extends to matters of what is increasingly described as green tourism and heritage tourism.
The two countries last met in May 2023, and the meeting is a review of progress on all agreed programs and to finalize various outstanding memoranda of understanding and agreements. Ambassador Chimbindi further said they will continue to deepen cooperation through exchange programs.
I wish to commend the progress on the initiatives by the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority and the Malawi Revenue Authority on the e-road cargo manifest system and the electronic cargo tracking system, which have significantly upgraded cross-border logistics. The implementation of the electronic system has substantially reduced transit fraud, kept activities of fuel smuggling syndicates, and resulted in faster turnaround.
Malawi's Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Secretary John Simwaka said the mid-term review is a critical mechanism for ensuring accountability and measuring progress towards achieving the two countries' common objectives. He said the reviews are essential in strengthening the effectiveness and relevance of bilateral cooperation efforts as they prepare for the ministerial and summit meetings scheduled for next year.
We note with satisfaction the progress being made in advancing the regional integration agenda, particularly in the areas of trade facilitation, industrialization, infrastructure development, food security, and peace and security operations. Our engagements in these areas have underscored the importance of enhancing intra-regional and bilateral trade as a strategy for strengthening regional economic integration.
The two countries agreed to remain guided by their shared vision of peaceful, inclusive, industrialized and prosperous nations and to champion a just and more equitable global order through multilateral cooperation. Latro Nyangu for ZN Prime in Harare.
We move on, where the government has underscored the importance of strengthening Zimbabwe's media sovereignty through continued investment in digital broadcasting infrastructure, saying the country must have control over its own data and information systems. This emerged during Transmedia's 2026 annual general meeting held in Harare this Wednesday. Faith Nyaude has more.
Information and Broadcasting Services Minister Dr. Shemusoda said the digital terrestrial television project remains critical in ensuring Zimbabwe develops and maintains its own broadcasting platforms, adding that information and data have become strategic national assets that require local control.
It is very, very important that we have sovereignty of our data and our information as a country. And this is the reason why there seems to be some kind of duplication, but our intention is that we must be able to stand on our own feet.
The minister called on Transmedia Corporation to close media distribution gaps across the country, particularly in remote and border communities, noting that radio remains the most dominant medium for information dissemination. The corporation said work is underway to expand broadcasting coverage through the rollout of additional transmission sites and supporting infrastructure in various parts of the country.
So this is going to increase digital terrestrial coverage to 43% and increase the catchment area for our broadcasters. We have been complaining that the coverage is too small, but now we are going to deliver coverage to you.
The minister further urged the state-owned signal distributor to diversify its revenue streams and reduce reliance on payments from broadcasters, saying innovation will be key to the corporation's sustainability.
There is need for further diversification of your incomes and reduce concentration risks.
The corporation said it is exploring new business opportunities, including an over-the-top streaming platform, tower leasing and digital advertising as part of efforts to strengthen its financial position and support future growth. For ZN Prime, I'm Faith Nyaude in Harare.
Do stay with us. Newsplus will be right back.
This June, step into a bigger entertainment experience with more to love. On Us. We're talking more drama, more action, more unforgettable stories, all waiting for you.
All hands on deck.
We're opening up our world of entertainment so you can view more.
It's your turn.
This June, pay for your current DSTV subscription and we'll upgrade you at no extra cost.
The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate J.F.N. Mudenda, the President of the Senate, Honorable M.M. Chinomona, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable T. Gezi, the Deputy President of the Senate, Lieutenant General Retired M.R. Nyambuya, Honorable Members of Parliament, the Clerk of Parliament, Mr. K.M. Chokuda, and staff of Parliament of Zimbabwe extend hearty congratulations to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, following the resounding election of Zimbabwe as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for the period 2027 to 2029. This landmark diplomatic achievement attests to the visionary leadership of His Excellency the President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, whose steadfast commitment to engagement, re-engagement, constructive international diplomacy and peaceful coexistence among nations underpinned by the operative mantra, Zimbabwe is a friend to all and an enemy to none, has significance within the global community of nations. The overwhelming and unanimous endorsement of Zimbabwe's candidature, securing an impressive 182 votes out of 191 member states, reflects the confidence and trust reposed in Zimbabwe by the international community and reaffirms the nation's growing influence in shaping global discourse on peace, security, and sustainable development. This historic success marks a defining moment in the nation's diplomatic trajectory and underscores Zimbabwe's enduring commitment to the promotion of international peace and security, respect for international law, dialogue among nations, and the advancement of shared global prosperity driven by the hallowed principles of multilateralism and international solidarity. Parliament expresses its utmost confidence that His Excellency the President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, as Zimbabwe's chief diplomat, will discharge this cardinal mandate with wisdom, integrity, principled statesmanship, and unwavering dedication to the principles and ideals ensconced in the United Nations Charter, as Your Excellency pilots Zimbabwe in executing its mandate at the United Nations Security Council. We have no doubt that Your Excellency will leverage on this opportunity to advance the pursuit of equity and fair representation in global diplomacy in line with the Ezulwini Consensus. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope, Parliament of Zimbabwe, a strong, independent, people-driven, world-class parliament. A SARS ISO 9001-2015 certified organization.
Welcome back. If you're joining us, you are watching Newsplus right here on ZTN Prime. Police say their ongoing blitz against illegal transport operators is yielding results, with thousands of vehicles impounded since the beginning of the year. More in the following report.
More than 20,000 pirate taxis have been impounded by police since January as authorities intensify a nationwide crackdown on pirate taxis. The operation is targeting unregistered public transport vehicles, including those operating without number plates, in a bid to restore order on the roads.
In terms of pirate taxis, since January, we have accounted for over 20,000. In Harare, pirate taxis, and that's why I'm saying we are not going back. We want Zimbabweans to also take note that they have got a role to play in terms of road safety.
Police say they are now in control of the situation, with the blitz significantly reducing the visibility of illegal operators in major urban centers.
The blitz against pirate taxis, Mshikashika, and also vehicles with no number plates. You can see now that, for example, in Harare, most of the vehicles now, including government vehicles, they now have number plates. So it assists in terms of policy, in terms of cabing.
Commissioner Nyati warned against boarding Mshikashika vehicles, citing increased cases of robbery and other criminal activities.
And then in terms of pirate taxis, yes, the challenge is still there, but it's work in progress. Some of the roads now, they are now maneuverable. People can easily move. But I'm saying it's a challenge because you still have errant motorists who do not want to adhere to the country's road rules and regulations.
The police say the operation will continue, with more roadblocks and patrols expected as they seek permanent solutions to the scourge of pirate taxis.
Now on to one of our top stories. Vice President Dr. Constantino Chiwenga said strong procurement systems do not belong to one nation. Rather, they constitute a shared regional asset and responsibility that requires cooperation, harmonization, and mutual accountability. He said this at the ongoing inaugural Southern African Public Procurement Forum, currently underway in Harare. More in the following report.
Dr. Chiwenga said public procurement is one of the most strategic instruments available to the state for advancing national development, stimulating economic transformation, and delivering public value. He urged SADC member states to strengthen procurement authorities, build institutional capacity, protect whistleblowers acting in the public interest, and adequately support anti-corruption initiatives. The Vice President reaffirmed Zimbabwe's commitment to transparency, accountability, and the prudent management of public resources.
No procurement process should be beyond scrutiny. Public trust must remain the cornerstone of public administration. I therefore urge member states across Southern Africa to strengthen procurement authorities.
While acknowledging the impact digital transformation offers in strengthening procurement systems, Vice President Chiwenga cautioned that technology cannot replace ethics and accountability, calling for strong institutions.
Digital transformation represents one of the greatest opportunities for strengthening public procurement systems within our region. However, technology alone cannot substitute integrity, accountability, and ethical leadership.
The forum is running under the theme Transforming Public Procurement for Sustainable Growth and Regional Integration in Southern Africa, which organizers say aims to make procurement more inclusive. Experts say procurement systems must evolve beyond national boundaries and facilitate cross-border trade, support regional infrastructure development, encourage investment flows, and strengthen regional value chains.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait.
Catch all 104 matches from as little as $10 live on SuperSport, only on DS.
Are you planning an event and you're looking for equipment? Or you are looking for a professional space to create your moment? At ZTN Prime, we don't just supply equipment, we amplify your brand. We have fully kitted studios available for hire, ready to bring your professional content to life. Plus, unlike ordinary providers, we integrate your event with the power of the Zim Papers ecosystem, reaching over 12 million people. From premium production and high-quality gear to nationwide coverage and seamless live streaming, we handle it all. Experience the ZTN advantage. We create, capture, broadcast, and amplify your vision. Get in touch with our ZTN commercial production unit today. Contact Ivy or Tinashe and turn your event into a powerful brand experience.
Welcome back. Now on some regional matters. Southern African countries are strengthening regional collaboration to combat foot and mouth disease through plans to extend the Botswana Vaccine Institute. This move is expected to boost vaccine production to 43 million doses and enhance livestock disease control across the region. This was revealed at the recent Southern African Development Community Ministers of Agriculture meeting in Victoria Falls. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Professor Obert Jiri, said the institute currently produces 25 million doses, making it a vital regional facility.
The SADC Ministers of Agriculture, who met recently in Victoria Falls, agreed to ensure that the Botswana Vaccine Institute continues with its thrust to produce the foot and mouth vaccines and other vaccines to protect the Southern African community ahead against the various diseases. Specifically for FMD, we are looking at least 43 million doses of the FMD vaccine for the entire southern region. That's South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and other countries involved. Is the Botswana Vaccine Institute is able to produce, its capacity is about 25 million doses. It is therefore necessary to expand this capacity for the Botswana Vaccine Institute.
Professor Jiri said ministers agreed that expanding the existing Botswana Vaccine Institute rather than establishing new production centers would be more effective and efficient and cost effective.
It was then agreed that instead of instituting new centers for the production of vaccines, the BVI can then be expanded to ensure that this expanded requirement for the Southern African region is catered for in Botswana at the BVI. So this is how we are coordinating to ensure the FMD situation is brought under control. Vaccines must be available, and it is necessary to expand the BVI to be able to cater for all the requirements of the Southern African countries.
When we come back, we touch on some business stories. Zimbabwe has formally initiated the process to join the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, the AIIB, and is simultaneously pursuing a seat at the table of the BRICS-backed New Development Bank. This comes as Treasury intensifies its global campaign to secure membership and shareholding in major alternative multilateral financial institutions, aggressively pushing to unlock long-term capital for the economy's productive sectors. Speaking to the media on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum, Finance Minister Professor Mthuli Ncube confirmed the development, emphasizing that the primary thrust is to create robust funding pipelines specifically tailored to elevate the domestic private sector.
We have applied to join the BRICS Bank. That membership application is being considered, is being processed. We'll wait to hear in due course. I also visited on this occasion the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, again with a view of getting Zimbabwe to join this bank. We have expressed interest in writing, and hopefully we can then engage AIIB to process Zimbabwe's application going forward. And the idea is to always have choices and alternatives for sourcing capital for both our private sector and also the sovereign, but mainly the private sector, because that's where most of the growth is coming from.
Professor Ncube also said Zimbabwe is pursuing resource-linked financing from China Rail for the rehabilitation of Zimbabwe's rail and road networks. I also had conversations with the China Rail, who have been keen to support us on the redevelopment of and upgrade of our railway network, but also generally want to support us in infrastructure development. So we spoke to them about resource-linked, debt instruments that we could want to explore going forward to support our infrastructure development, especially roads and rail. Up next, we have sport.
Harare. Tune into the beat.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, your source for news, business, sports, fashion, and more.
Experience the pulse of Harare's culture and lifestyle.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's top radio station.
Join the conversation with Zimbabwe's top personalities.
Subscribe now for fresh and infotainment content daily.
Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat.
In the world of football, Dynamos FC's coaching crisis has taken a new twist, with the club heavily linked to Romanian coach Aristica Choba following the suspension of head coach Genesis Mangombe. Mangombe was suspended pending investigations into allegations including insubordination, match manipulation and breaches of PSL regulations and the alleged use of traditional rituals involving players. Assistant coaches Newsom Mutema, Tonderai Marume and goalkeepers trainer Brito Guerre have also been charged, while team manager Ronald Sivanda has taken over as an interim basis. Attention is now turning to Choba, who recently left Ghanaian side Aduna FC and is emerging as a leading candidate to take charge of the Glamour Boys. Now, Zim-Paper's Sports Hub reporter Tedious Manyepo joins us live to give us the latest on this development. Good evening to you, Teddy, and very good to have you on Newsplus tonight. Now, Teddy, what is the latest from the Dynamos camp over the suspension of Genesis Mangombe?
Okay, the suspension of Genesis Mangombe came at a time when Genesis Mangombe himself already knew that he was on his way out of Dynamos. He was no longer wanted there, and given the allegations, the weight of allegations which are leveled against him, he was already talking to Triangle, and he could be on his way back to the former employees, that is employers, that is Triangle, who are coachless right now. So Genesis Mangombe could as well be on his way back to Triangle.
Okay, so reports say Serbian tactician Aristica Choba is set to be unveiled. Does it mean that it's over between Dynamos and Mangombe?
I can tell you that Dynamos have been talking to a Serbian coach who is understood to have already agreed everything with the Dynamos, and the Dynamos executive in the background are already working on securing his work permit, and maybe this week or next week he could be unveiled as the new Dynamos coach, while they are still investigating Mangombe. But given the nature of the allegations leveled against Mangombe, there is no way that he is coming back. So the Serbian coach is the one waiting in the wings.
Right, thank you so much, Tedious, for that update. We move on to our next story, where Tanzania-based Zimbabwean sports scientist Nyasha Charandura has called on locals to embrace sports entrepreneurship, as there are numerous opportunities available within the billion-dollar sports industry. The former Warriors strength and conditioning coach urged aspiring entrepreneurs to identify specific niches within the sports industry and explore avenues beyond active participation in sport. He made the remarks during the recent dual launch of his sporting apparel brand and the third edition of his book, Sports Entrepreneurship.
Definitely, sports is now a billion-dollar industry, and it is very, very important to find an area that you can be able to venture into. We had people in construction, different areas and extra. So it is very, very important for someone to identify a specific space and also have purpose. Life is all about purpose. So the moment you know your purpose in life, it will be easier for you to be able to venture, and the moment you operate within your lane, you've got purpose, you'll be able to achieve your goals.
Charandura also expressed delight at the growing number of former athletes and local enrolling in sports science and strength and conditioning courses, noting that these fields are increasingly providing viable career and income generating opportunities.
What I can say is what we want to see is when other people are succeeding. I remember yesterday, one of the coaches just came driving a car. I met that guy in Shtungiza more than 7 years ago. We started moving these things. He said, "Coach, these are the results of what we're doing." I'm happy because it's beginning to transform lives. We're saying it's a billion-dollar industry, but there should be something, the evidence at the end of the day. If there's no evidence, we can keep talking. So definitely when we begin to...
Thank you. We've come to the end of our bulletin this evening. My name is Marissa Marinda, and from me and the crew behind the scenes, we say pleasant viewing.